All right, guys, so I've been having a lot of questions for some of you guys asking about heavy bag drills and boxing drills. So these are a couple that I actually do on a regular basis. I use them for cardio, I use them to keep timing, I use them to keep a little bit of muscle endurance, but then also they're just a general overall good workout if you choose to use them as this, right? So the first one that you'll do, right? Usually I start off the rounds, I'll go for the first couple rounds, first 3 rounds actually, I'll do what we call 303. So that's 300 punches in 3 minutes. There's 2 ways you could do this. I could do 100 straight, just straight punches at any intensity, it's up to you. Usually I take them kind of about medium speed. I'll do 100 straight, and then usually I'll go 100 hooks. And then again, 100 uppercuts. And I'll try to get that 100, 100, 100 in 3 minutes. Or you can mix up the punches. This is for people that have a little more experience, just because generally you kind of have no issues letting your hands flow out. So it will kind of look a little bit like this, just counting to 100 or 300. So 2 to 10 is literally what it sounds like. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. So I'll count those numbers up and down. And it's more of like a hand speed drill than anything else. So you work on trying to plant your feet, working on finding your whole distance range of your arm. Some people usually, when you watch them hit the heavy bag, they have issue of being here when they start to get tired or they try to work hand speed. You want to get the entirety of the punch out as well as getting it back to the face just as quick. So the top priorities in this, again, are not just following the numbers, but being able to find the complete hand distance and being able to get back just as quick as you hit the bag. So it would kind of look like this, starting with 2 all the way up to 10. And then again, once I get to 10, I'll go back down. And so on, right? So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, all the way back down. You can do that for 3 minutes. I used to do this at professional rounds for MMA for 5 minutes. It's up to you, right? But just be aware, you're gonna get a little bit winded, probably just going full speed, full power, and trying to get the hands back, all right? Thanks. Okay, so the next drill is actually a power punch drill. And you'd pretty much only pick maybe 2 or 3 punches that you feel comfortable doing. But the important part of this thing is actually that you wrap your hands right. Because it's a power drill, a lot of times we have a tendency to over-rotate and put a little bit more body behind that punch than we want to. So for that reason, I actually do this prior to putting my hand wraps on. I have a little cushioning that I put that actually is a little bit more reinforcement for the knuckles to punch through. And what I do is I kind of make it a little bit bigger than what my knuckles actually have, by like maybe ½ an inch to an inch. So that way, whenever I put the hand wrap on, I have that nice cushion in there that I can take extra shock from, right? I actually learned this drill from an old pro boxer, and one of the things he would always say about it is, hey guys, make sure you at least triple wrap your hands, if not double wrap, right? So when you do this, again, hand wrap plays a role. And again, I'll treat it just like a little bit of a different style of boxing hand wrap. I like to leave my thumb open. So I'll actually reinforce about 3 times before I travel up to the hand, right? And you'll see I'll start off with the pinky and rotate around. So I'll do 1 wrap around before I put that over. And then again, as I'm coming through, I'll wrap that in place just by kind of holding it with my thumb and then let it carry over to the other side. It's a little bit tricky once you start playing with it, but get it a couple of times, you'll figure it out. So again, I kind of pinch it off with the pinky to make the complete wrap. So that way, again, I'm providing a little bit of extra cushion for myself whenever I do this, so that way I can throw a little bit more power. After about 2 wraparounds, I'll go back, make an X pattern by re-wrapping the wrist once, and again, back up to that X pattern if I have enough, and finishing it off there. It looks very open, very ugly looking, like right now, until I use the second hand wrap to kind of polish it off a little bit. And I keep my hands wide the entire time, so that way, when I do actually lock this thing in place and I put the glove on, it doesn't cut off circulation, which is a big deal. So again, I'll wrap, and the difference with the second wrap is that I immediately go from 1 wrap of the wrist through the fingers right away. And again, I'll take it through the fingers and around the thumb, the base of the thumb again, through the fingers and around the base of the thumb again, back around that base. And then again, I'll try to pull it really tight so that way I can make another wrap around the knuckle and really strap that thing in place. So now it kind of looks a little bit more like a traditional boxing wrap. And again, it's up to you how tight you want to make this. I make it pretty tight. But then again, I've had a lot of experience wrapping my own hands, and it's just something I prefer. So again, once I've got it locked down, I will do this on both sides before actually hitting the heavy bag, right? So for right now, it's just a drill. I'm gonna demonstrate the left hook on the bag, so I'm not gonna put the right side on, but again, you kind of see, it's a little bit of a struggle to kind of get the glove on, but you'd rather have the struggle than break your wrist. So again, I get this on, and you see even the glove itself kind of looks a little bit packed tight. Almost looks like it's too small for my hand, which is a good thing, just because it means there's no space in there and there's no rotation on the wrist, so the wrist won't fold in easy. So when I go to the heavy bag, it's what we call the triple tap drill. And a lot of people get so amped up when hitting the bag for power that many times they don't even bother trying to find their knuckles. This is a knuckle finding exercise just as much as it is a power punch drill. So the left hook, right? I'm gonna face away so that you guys can see where I'm hitting. So I want to pick the spot, right? So again, I find the distance on the punch to give a perfect angle of the left hook, right? So that's coming around and hitting the bag, coming back to my face. Once I find that, right, I'll get the first tap off very, very light. The second tap, about a medium speed. Third tap, a little bit harder. Then bring the hand back. And I'll continue this drill for about 3 rounds using maybe 1 punch, or I'll use 2 punches and just try to figure out where my hand placement's gonna be at. That way I know how to actually hit with this thing on the top 2 knuckles, right? So again, I'll go 1, 2, 3. Again, focusing on the proper angle of the hook, as well as getting off the bag just as fast as I got there. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. And as I do this, you'll notice yourself too, everybody has a different way that they like to throw this lead hook. Some guys will throw it inward. I prefer a side fist. You'll see some people even throw almost like kind of inverted with the hand with the palm out. It's dependent upon you, who kind of taught you. That a little bit more comes from, I think, from the MMA and the Muay Thai for me. So again, when we're playing with this, pretty simple. Find the distance, right? Same spot on the heavy bag. And then I tap light on the first one, harder on the second, and on the third, I can put a full body force. And I keep trying to hit the same spot every time, right? Again, make sure you wrap your hands. Double if you know what you're doing, triple if it's your first time, just because you do run the risk of breaking your own wrist. Don't be surprised that your back and your wrist and your thumbs are probably gonna be a little bit sore after this, and you probably won't know what did it, but it's probably gonna be this drill because your body's gotta get used to hitting hard, right?